I'm Lucas,
And I'm Russell.
and you're
listening to Sadboii Podcast.
Yeah, Sadboii.
Sadboii Podcast.
Okay, start recording. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Sadboii Podcast.
Welcome back.
We're back.
For everyone, you may be surprised at the title of this episode.
Wait, I don't even know what the title is.
Well, the title is probably something along the lines of like last episode kind of thing.
For now.
Because, okay, basically I make the titles like, after we record, because then I gotta like re-listen to it and then think of a title unless I remember what we talked about and then I can think of a title.
Yeah.
Because my memory is usually really bad now.
Oh,
like literally we can record an episode and you can ask me what we talked about like the next day and I'll be like, wait, what? And I just completely go blank.
Okay.
My memory is like, it's really bad now. Like even when it like goes down to like, what day it is or whatever, like in the morning I might know, but if you ask me again like in the afternoon, I might be like, wait, what day is it today? Is it Tuesday? And they're like, no, what are you talking about? It's like Thursday. I'm like, wait, what? I don't know what's wrong. And like I don't, my memory and my brain is like it's shutting down.
Right.
It's a weird thing.
It's okay.
But anyways, it is the quote unquote last episode, and the reason is well, for me at least, I guess I'm someone who kind of overestimates myself quite a bit. So like I've been taking on more projects that I can handle. So for me it's not like finalized thing, like, oh, like this is completely over, like, it's more of like I'm taking a pause on stuff to kind of catch up on other things. So for example, it's like the YouTube videos, right? Like, I was just talking to Lucas about it. Like in terms of editing YouTube videos, we kind of game every night or so. Not every night, but like let's say like 3 to 4 times a week. So
pretty much every night.
Yeah, I don't really do it on weekends because I'm busy.
Yeah.
But essentially, I've gotten like a huge backlog of videos. I was actually just telling Lucas, like, even like each of these video gameplays, right? Like the raw files, they're around like 3 to 10 gigs. So right now, for example, the game Phasmophobia, I have like 25 video files, and that's almost like 77 gigs.
That's way too much.
Yeah, so I'm just more focusing on just clearing out all my backlog stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of rescheduling, reprioritizing everything first, and then we'll see where to go from there with the podcast.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so it's not like this is the end.
No,
right?
we'll
Like
be back.
it's we'll be back. It's just right now it's I just need to catch up on everything.
Yeah, we'll be like Banksy. We'll just release a podcast episode every like while.
Yeah, it'll be like the greatest comeback.
Yeah, you just won't know
of that week.
Yeah, instead of Backstreet Back, it's Sadboi's Back.
Yeah, and also because like right now I think there's so many things going on in the world that it's sometimes it's like you kind of want to talk about it, but because some of the things that's happening is quite controversial, you don't really want to talk about it. Not because you don't care about it, but because like I don't know, for me it's
we don't want to be canceled.
That too, because I mean we all have different opinions, right?
Yeah,
but it's also like I don't want to speak on something that I haven't fully researched about yet, especially when it's a topic like that. If it's like a random topic like Marvel stuff, like I don't care, I'll say whatever, right? Whatever my opinion is and whatever. But for the recent controversial stuff happening in Canada, it's kind of like I personally don't really want to go into it, only because like
you don't want to piss anyone off.
Yeah, and I don't want it to seem like we're talking about it as a way of virtue signaling or moral posing or whatever. Like I'm someone who's very against virtue signaling. Like if you want to make change and do something, like just do it. Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that thing. So I mean, talking about it, I know people are like, "Oh, you talk about it to raise awareness and everything," but at the same time, it's like I'm pretty sure at this point everyone knows. So
Well,
for people to just keep talking about it, it's like, in my opinion, it's almost like everyone's just a broken record on repeat.
like we've talked about virtue signaling like 2 episodes ago, anyway. So
Yeah, so I think people have an idea of what my stance on that stuff is. It's not that I don't care,
yeah,
but
it's okay. It's all right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But but I guess this could be the last episode, or one of the last episodes we can talk about just recent news stuff.
Last episode for the summer, for the season.
Yeah, for this season, it'll be a while. Like,
Yeah, we'll see.
personally, I kind of want to, like, do an episode for an anniversary kind of thing in September.
I don't even remember when that is. Like September 30th.
Oh, wasn't it like mid September or something, or mid to end September? I don't even remember.
I don't remember.
Right, like, yeah.
I need to check Instagram.
Oh no, I have. Oh, September 15th.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was close. I said 16.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. So we're close. We're close. But yeah, like, I mean, the journey itself since day one has been very, should I say, educational? What's another word for educational? Learn good.
Growing. Growing. I don't know. I felt like I felt ever since we started this podcast, we've grown quite a bit. Like we went from like laughing every like 2 seconds to like actually talking.
Oh yeah, and even like back then, like, those like awkward moments we had.
Yeah.
We would just literally, like, we'd say something, we just look at each other for like a few seconds, and we're like, what do we talk about now? What do we do? What do we do? We don't know what we're doing.
We went from 25, 26 to like 28 years old. We've grown up.
Oh
We're
yeah,
adults
for
now.
sure.
Adults
For
now.
sure.
We could go drinking at bars now.
I know. It's crazy. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the journey itself has been very, educational in a way.
Is
So
that a word for educational? What's a synonym for educational?
learn good. Good learning.
Oh, okay. Very.
I don't know.
Well. Okay. All right. I don't know. It's giving me teaching. I'm like, we're not teaching. We're teaching others, I guess.
I mean, we tried, right? Like, we had some episodes where we went through, I guess, life lessons kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Though, even though when we say or talk about life lessons, we're always usually like, there's no like one solution fits all.
Yeah.
We take little bits from what everyone kind of says, and we apply it to our own lives and see if it works. Life is trial and error.
Okay, yo, that just made me want to like rant about something.
Granted,
like how like on Instagram there's like people regarding social justice stuff. Like they make one solution, and everyone's like, "Oh, racism's been solved." I'm like, no, it's just there's more than one solution, guys. It's not the end all be all. Okay, that's my rant.
Sorry, my throat is like it's weird. I don't know if it's the weather or whatever, but I've been getting a lot of phlegm. But no, I get what you're saying. Like, I think I was talking to a friend of ours the other day, and
there's many friends of ours.
I think it was J Lam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we were talking about the social justice stuff, right? So I'm pretty sure I've reiterated this before in the past, but it's kind of like what people are doing now, and the peace that they think is what the world needs is not the peace that people want.
Yep.
Right. It's like it always goes back to me thinking about the Age of Ultron movie, right? Because it's kind of like these people nowadays, they always think, oh, peace is when everyone who says things that are hateful are silenced. But that's not peace. That's nowhere close to peace. That's literally just like, I don't like your opinion, so you can't talk anymore.
Oh, you're not quoting someone. Okay, never mind.
No.
I
I
thought
don't
you were
fully,
quoting
I,
someone. I was like, wait, what?
I don't fully remember the quote from Ultron or whatever, but essentially, like, it's like I said, like the peace that people want right now, it's more of just like silencing people that disagree with them, right? Now, obviously, there's people like who are like they still practice Nazism, or they're like, sure, like find them, but I wouldn't say to like silence them, but I think it's more of educating them or
Yeah,
something along those lines, right? Like, I still find it really stupid if, like, for example, like the Adamson BBQ dude who was on the news for all his shit that he did, and then there was a Nazi dude there or like a Trump supporter, and then suddenly like he's associated with all of them, and it's like, how? What if I go to like No Frills and I'm grocery shopping, and then a Nazi walks by me, and then people are suddenly gonna say I'm a Nazi when I'm just buying bananas or something,
oh no.
right? Like the association is completely stupid, but
Yeah,
it's also like I said, the way that things are going right now, it's not the peace that we should be striving towards, right? Like
for
the
sure.
peace that people should be striving towards is one where, regardless of what opinions people have, we all learn to respect each other and be kind to each other. But right now, it's more of like, I'll be nice to you, but then, or I'll talk about how like we should be nice to you, but then if someone suddenly says something that's not to my liking, I start attacking them, right? It's like,
Yeah.
oh, we should be kind to everyone, but if that person says something different, we don't have to be kind to them, and it's like that's hypocritical. Like that's counterproductive.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to be kind, just be kind. In general, that's it.
Yeah, just be kind.
Yeah.
It's not hard.
So yeah. So it's like how Tony Stark wanted the world to have like the Iron Legion protecting it, versus like Steve Rogers, who thinks like people should have the freedom to do whatever,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I don't know which side is right, because even till now, like if I think back to the movies, in a way, Tony Stark was kind of right because of
Yeah,
Thanos.
yeah.
But then
Well,
Steve Rogers. Did I just really just go back on what I just said
you
earlier?
literally, yeah, you did. Well, I don't know. Would the Iron Legion really have like protected them against Thanos? Nah.
No, Thanos would have just killed them all.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
good,
But
right
Steve
mindset,
just
just
fought for
not enough
freedom.
power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, I mean, that's why there's
I don't
Captain
know.
America 4 and there's no Iron Man
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. Oh, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Did I just roast Tony Stark? He's already dead. Whoops.
Hey, dead
Hey,
people can't defend themselves. It's
That's
fine.
true. That's true. But it makes sense though. Like, I don't want to live in a world where peace is this thing where people who think differently are silenced.
Oh wait, I think the quote's like, "Don't confuse silence with peace" or something. Is that what you're trying to say?
Oh yeah. I think that
Yeah,
was the quote, right?
yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
something like
So
that.
yeah. So like, yeah. What I'm trying to say is like people are confusing that right now with silence and peace. They think
Yep.
silence is peace, but that's not it.
Yeah.
I mean, you could argue that it's one form of peace, but it's also like the execution of everything.
It
Oh,
depends
and
on context.
I remember what me and Jay Lam were talking about. We were talking about the Sat movie. You know how Subtle Asian Traits is getting a movie, a
They're
documentary?
getting a movie.
Yeah, they're getting a documentary.
Excuse me. What?
Yeah, I don't know why.
All right.
But I mean, the social justice warriors out there are probably gonna say, "Oh, like Asian representation and all that stuff," which is fine. I don't really care, but it's not a money that I would even pay for or pirate or anything.
It's probably on.
Be-
Could it be like on Netflix? Maybe I don't know.
maybe, but to me, it just seems like a complete waste of money to make a movie like that because I don't see anything really special about the Subtle Asian community anymore. In the beginning, it was nice because a lot of Asians in the world could kind of group together and finally be like, "Yo, we're all Asians, bro. We're all gonna be buddies." Um,
Hey, that's how we met.
yeah, that's literally how we met.
Yeah.
But the magic from back then till now is kind of gone, or it's
Well,
been gone for quite a while. So I remember when Subtle Asian Traits made that post about the movie. I saw some comments. They were like, "Oh, we should make a movie," or like they were supportive of it, but then they were like, "Oh yeah, they should also get to the part where the Chinese Americans joined the group and made it into trash, or made it all about
oof,
them." And I'm kind of
oof.
like, "Oof," but at the same time, I'm like, "Yeah, I think that sounds pretty American, to be honest, to make everything about themselves."
No, they weren't wrong.
They're not wrong.
They're not
It's
wrong.
actually pretty true.
Like
Sorry,
it's
sorry
very
to all the
savage.
American people listening to this podcast episode. As long as you guys know that this is kind of like the last episode for a while, but apologies to the American people who are listening to this.
Yeah, you can't cancel us if we cancel ourselves.
Yeah, basically we're canceling ourselves first. No, but it makes sense though. Like Chinese Americans, like even though they're Chinese, right? But it's like the American side of them. It's like they just dive in and take over and make it all about themselves.
That sounds very American. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's very American. So this movie, I mean, if it focuses on how like it started, I guess it would be better. But like, I was talking to Jayla about how like nowadays subtle Asian groups have basically become a platform to the good thing is for stop Asian hate, but at the same time it's becoming groups to just hate on white people.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Essentially, yeah. If you see down like the other pages, you will see a lot of that.
yeah,
A lot of that as
or
well.
or you go to subtle Asian mental health and it's all about hating their own parents.
Is that okay? I'm not in like some of these groups, so like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So subtle Asian mental health is all about hating their parents and everything. But again, the whole thing is our parents grew up in a very Asian past, Asian traditions. And then when they came over here, we were raised in a Western tradition. So obviously there's going to be a lot of clashing, right?
Mhm.
I think that's very common. But I don't think it's to the point where people should be like, I hate my parents for all this shit.
Is that what they say?
Oh, yeah. They blame their parents for everything.
Um,
Like even some of it's to the point where like, okay, if your parents are like actually like abusive to you, then for sure, right? Like it makes sense for you to dislike them or hate them or whatever, right? But a lot of these situations that I've seen or read is very common Asian stuff clashing with us growing up in a Western culture.
yeah, I've actually know a few people who like blame their own upbringing by their family of how
Yeah.
like depressed or sad about it. But
Yeah.
like as it comes to a certain point where it's like you only have yourself to blame instead
Yeah.
of just like blaming it on others.
Yeah. Like our environments affect us, but like you said, at the end of the day, it's really up to us to control our own lives and not let
Yeah.
other things control it. Right?
Yeah.
Like I for a certain period of time I also kind of blamed my parents for like, oh, like the reason I have all this anxiety or like I can't decide on things is because of my parents. But then, thanks to COVID and on the lockdown, I sat down and I was like, hey, you know what? My life is my life. So I
Mhm.
had to kind of like change my own thinking. And it's not as easy as it sounds, right?
No,
Like,
it really isn't.
I get it. It's hard for people, right? But I don't know. It's just when I see people like just constantly blaming their parents for every single thing wrong in their lives, it's like, how about you look at your own life and see what you can fix first before you blame other people?
Yep.
But no one wants to, right? Like it's hard to. It's actually very hard for people to admit their own faults, admit their own wrongdoings, because it really takes that. You really need to be able to push your ego aside to do those things,
For
and it's
sure.
actually very, very, very hard, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's just people just need to understand that we grew up in Western culture. We have Western traditions, so our parents have Asian traditions. It clashes, right?
Yeah.
The good thing or the ideal situation is when both sides are able to kind of just sit down, talk, and kind of understand both sides of the culture and say, hey, you know what? You're my parents, but you guys grew up, these traditional Asian values, but I kind of grew up in like Western culture where we're more chill, we're less strict or authoritative. And then for the parents, it's kind of like, okay, well, I understand, like, times have changed. You are your own person now, kind of thing.
Is that what your parents said?
I actually don't really talk to my parents much. about
Okay,
deep stuff.
I thought for a moment that's what your mom says. Like that's not something Russell's mom would say. Excuse.
No, no. Well, yes, yes, sort of, but at the same time, it's kind of those things where, um, so me personally, my family, my parents are still very Asian, traditional values. Like they're okay with kind of understanding some parts of Western culture, but for me, because I'm probably the most Western values in like the whole family, so it's
Well,
more of like I just kind of do my own thing.
yeah, that kind of makes sense. Actually, that does make sense since like
Yeah,
your brother was raised partially in Hong Kong, and you're just like,
yeah. So
yeah,
he's like, he has those like Asian values and traditional stuff,
yeah.
with like a little bit of Western. I'm like almost like full on like Western traditional, like very chill and all that stuff. So a lot of times, like, you know, we do clash. So that's why when it comes to actual topics, me and my family, like, or me and my parents, we don't really talk much about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I just kind of do my own thing. So even when like my mom hears me doing like the podcast or like recording gameplay stuff, she thinks I'm just chilling. When I tell her like no, like I'm actually doing this stuff for certain side gigs and projects and all that. And she's like, "Don't lie to me. You just gaming." She literally just said that to me this morning. And I'm like, cool, okay, cool.
Well,
Like, and in the past, I've always been like, do you want me to show you like my list of to do? Like, I'm not lying, I have a shit ton of stuff to do, man. But then now it's at the point where it's just like, I just tell them like, you know, you believe me if you want. Like, I got stuff to do. I'm not here to prove to you guys. I'm just busy making money and all that stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for like immigrant parents that are not like tech savvy or not or anything,
Yeah.
if they see us just working on the computer, they'll just assume we're just gaming.
It reminds me of that thing where like when you're a kid and you get sick and your mom's just like, it's because you're always on your video games. And you're just like, wait, what? There's nothing to
Exactly.
do with any of this.
No, we're always just on our video games. That's the reason.
You're sick? You must be breathing too much. What? But no,
Eris
like
Yihei.
yeah, oh yeah, the Yihei thing. Oh, my mom always tells me to drink the learn cha. And I
I
always
want
tell
lunch.
her, like, when I open the fridge to drink something or find something to drink, that's not the first thing that pops to mind. The first
No.
thing that pops to mind is either ice cold water or something, or like juice or pop.
Same.
Like, it's never like I go home and I'm like, damn, I want a nice, refreshing cup of learn cha.
I don't have lunch in my fridge.
My mom makes it random because she always says I'm eat hay, even though I literally eat like, I don't know what I eat actually. Even if I eat like full like like Asian vegetarian food, my mom will still be like, "You're eat hay," and I'm like, "What? I just ate veggies. What?
Okay.
That's weird. That's
I
weird."
don't know. Maybe veggies is Yihei too. Tell that to Ben.
It is actually. I think anything is
Yeah.
eat hay as long as you use heat or fire to cook it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's why you drink more ice water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to
Balances out.
cool down your body. You know,
Yeah.
you got to be your own firefighter.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know.
All
But no,
right.
back to like the movie thing though. Like I said, right now, like subtle Asian, it's just become almost like hating on white people, which I think is kind of stupid, and I think in a way it is kind of racist as well.
Oh yeah, definitely yes.
Yeah, so it's like that's why I'm talking about like the hypocrisy of all of this, right? It's like they want to fight racism by being racist to the people who are racist to them. So how does that really solve anything besides from creating a bigger divide amongst everyone?
I don't know. I don't have a solution to this. I don't think anyone has a solution to
No
this.
one has a solution. That's why everyone's just saying we gotta raise our voices, and then
Yeah.
that's it. It's literally like they said a sentence and they stopped halfway and just left it. It's open ended. Like,
That's exactly how it is.
yeah, like it doesn't make sense. It's never made sense to me. Like I get the social movement stuff. I understand the fight. I support the fight. but I do not support any of the execution of it.
No.
Because I think it's just a complete virtue signaling shitfest.
Yeah.
Right? It's like how I said before, like I saw like Asian celebrities, like they'd write a post about, the social movement. And then the next day they start posting their own model pics, posing, happy. And it's like, okay, cool post, bro. Like,
And then they never go back to it. Yeah, they never get back to it.
Yeah. And it's just like, then what's the point? Like, you guys care for that 1 second and that's it? Like, it's completely stupid. All of it is stupid.
Yeah, right? It's for the clout.
Yeah, for sure. But anyways, back to, I guess, us talking about the whole idea of the last episode thing. Okay, so do you remember every single topic we've talked about?
All 62. All 66. Sorry.
60. This is like the 66th episode. That's why I thought this was like a perfect episode to end it, because 66 is like Lucifer and Lucas is Lucifer, so he's like Lucasfer.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like a tribute to Lucas as well.
Speaking of Lucifer, I just started watching Lucifer yesterday. It's pretty good.
A good show.
Yeah,
it's actually a really good show.
Really
I cried in the season 5 part 2.
Oh.
Yeah. So basically, okay, what season are you on?
1. Episode 3.
Good enough. So essentially they got to season 3 on Fox, I think. And then they canceled it. And then people were kind of pissed off. So if I remember correctly, like a lot of people were like petitioning to basically bring the show back. They actually asked Netflix to. So I think it was like a year or two later that Netflix finally was like, hey, you know what? Yeah, we're coming back with Lucifer. And this time, we're going to have like a brand new season. And they're going to keep continuing it, right? So season 4 came out on Netflix, which was a lot better because you know how like comparing Netflix to cable TV, Netflix has less restrictions compared to like TV. You're restricted to like the ratings, like, oh, you can't say the swear words as much, you can't show as much or whatever. So with Netflix, they were able to be like more open with a lot of stuff. So they did season 4. There was a bit more swearing. I think even like there was an episode I watched where there was like a dead body who was like dismembered, and they kind of showed a bit of it.
Oh,
so I was like, damn, they're risking it right now. So the reason why season 5 is split into 2 parts is because they finished filming the first part, and then COVID lockdowns happened, and they had to film the second part afterwards.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the reason why I cried in season 5. Actually, I'm not going to say the reason, but essentially, or I'm not going to go into details about the episode, right? But essentially, I thought season 5 was going to be the last one because I swear they said to season 5 was going to be the last season of the series. But then it's like when I finished the second part of season 5, it ended on a cliffhanger. And I was like, the fuck? Like, yo, this can't be the end of the whole series. It's like a freaking cliffhanger, man.
No. Did they really say it was the final season?
They did at one point, but then they apparently announced the season 6 like last minute.
Oh, okay.
So that was like, oh, thank fucking God. Like, I was gonna be so pissed off because it was a cliffhanger that just made you go like, well, what's next? Like why is this happening? And then season 6 announcement, I'm like, oh, thank God. I feel complete now. But no, Lucifer is actually a really good show.
Yeah, it's been good so far.
Yeah. The thing is, the cool thing is that it's also connected to a DC universe.
Yeah, I've read.
It's one of the multiverses. It's one of the multiverses.
That's sick.
That's it is. It really is. But now I was gonna ask you, like, what has been like your favorite or most memorable part of the podcast thus far?
Of recent memory, or like just
whatever
like
you remember.
I don't remember much. Like the Korra features were pretty nice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I miss like actually recording in person.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah, but
I
like
know
doing it like virtually is
it's
pretty
not
convenient.
as yeah, it is convenient, but like sometimes it's not as fun.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because like I mean, I know a lot of people who do podcasts who've been doing like video calls. I know we
Mhm.
haven't really done video calls, because the way Ontario has been doing the lockdowns, like it's always like you think that it's about time that we can finally record in person again, and then we get hit with another lockdown, and then when it starts like getting better, we're like, oh, maybe we can, and then another lockdown hits. So it's like
Yep.
it got to the point where I'm just like, let's just record online. I'm done. I'm not
Yeah.
waiting for this anymore. But in terms of like the in person recording though, um, the good though not really good thing, but bad thing, the studio isn't even like built yet.
Well, that's because you moved, right? So we can't really
Yeah, like
we
like
can't really
I
do
I
anything about it.
well no, like the thing is like we moved, and the other room my dad has all the materials in that room to work on it, but because he just finished renovating like the more essential stuff in the house, I think he's just kind of resting right now.
Okay.
And he's possibly going to have like a few clients to work with.
Oh,
So the
it's gonna
studio
be a
is kind
while.
of like it's yeah, it's gonna be a while. But I know my dad is gonna try to do it as soon as he can, because I told him like once he's done that room, there's actually a lot of stuff that I can actually clear out from like the general area of the house. Like I can clear out so much stuff once that room is done,
Yeah. Well,
right? And then
hopefully when we return, I'll be in that studio.
hopefully I that's actually what I'm praying for. Like
Okay.
it's a lot better to record while you see the other person, because at least
Yeah.
you see their facial expressions, because right now it's like it's almost like we're on a phone call, and I'm someone who doesn't like phone calls.
I hate phone calls.
Yeah, like I'm like one of the most awkward people with phone calls. Like before I make a call, I literally have to rehearse every single thing that I'm gonna say or ask in my head like a few times before I actually make the call. Like I just
Yep.
hate it. Right.
Same.
Yeah.
Same Z's.
Yeah. But yeah, what else do you miss from the podcast?
Shit. It's been a lot of stuff. Oh, those past 2 years.
Yep.
I
It's been a lot.
don't know. I don't know. But like low key, this might be wholesome or whatever. But like I find it like a way for me to connect with Russell. That's nice.
Aw.
See, wholesome.
It's also because of the whole
Oh,
lockdown stuff,
yeah.
like
I haven't seen
it's
Russell since like September.
I think you're seeing me next Sunday.
Yeah, but before that was September.
Yeah, it was September. Yeah. It's been a long time. Like for Ontario, I think now they've finally started to do stage 3 of reopening, which is something that other people have already done a long time ago. I don't know why
Yeah.
Ontario's well, actually no. I think the reason why Ontario is taking so long is also because a lot of people in Toronto like to pretend to be like they're from New York or something, or Americans. So that doesn't really translate well over here. So they kind of keep the cases up there, because a lot of them are like, COVID? What's COVID? I don't believe in COVID. What the fuck? And then yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But we're on track to kind of reopen everything right now.
Finally,
Hopefully.
right?
Hopefully.
Finally.
Yeah. Though I read this thing where apparently a medical expert was saying that stage 4 or well,
Wait
no, not
for.
stage 4. Yeah, wave 4 of COVID is not really going to hit the vaccinated people, but it's going to hit a lot of the unvaccinated people.
We're good. I'm good.
And that's
Like
like millions of them.
I think that's more fear mongering, if anything. But like,
Yeah, like when I read it, I was kind of like, this just sounds like propaganda to get the vaccine.
yeah, it sounds like bait. It really does sound like
Yeah,
bait.
like they should have just said like, oh, like wave 4 is incoming. But no, like the way they wrote it was like, oh, wave 4 will affect the non-vaccinated people this time. And there's millions
Yeah,
of them, right? Like I don't fully agree on pushing people to get the vaccine, but at the same time I also don't really agree with the fear mongering shit.
yeah.
Ontario is weird at this point. I just have this feeling that in the future, I think if I can, I'm probably gonna move out of Ontario. So
I've been thinking about that.
yeah, like I mean, Ontario is good, but when you start hearing about like stuff from like other places, it just makes Ontario sound really garbage.
Well, it's been like that for a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, because
Yeah.
it's like even like the education system, right? Like the schools in Alberta at least push you to actually study and work hard, but then you have schools here who hold your hand until university.
Yeah, they don't really.
They don't
And when
really
you hit
let people
university,
fail.
they're like, we're like already like dead
Yeah,
because we're on
because
our own
because we're never
outside.
prepared for university, and when we get to
Yep.
university, we get overstressed, overwhelmed, and then a lot of people drop out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or like people then start talking about mental health.
Yep.
Yeah, of course, it's because no one here is prepared for it. That's how it is. That's how Ontario works. We're never prepared for anything.
Whoa, wait. Whoa.
It's kind of true, actually.
Well, okay, yeah, it's true.
If you
But
think
right now,
about it.
right now, I'm also looking at like the COVID cases in April. We had
Yeah.
4,000 cases in April
Yeah.
for Canada. Holy shit!
Yeah, we had so much at one point.
Yo, yeah, we're never prepared. Holy shit!
Yeah, we're never prepared. At least now it's dropped to like 100 something a day
Yeah,
because everyone's vaccinated and people keep going like, oh, the case numbers are low. I'm like, well, yeah. Once everyone gets like the first dose or second dose, they don't really have a need to go get tested anymore.
yep,
The only people that are testing are still people who are in industries that require testing. So like the film industry, medical industry, like they still need to be tested. Like I think like weekly or bi-weekly for the
I think I don't know. I hear some people are like tested daily.
I think filming is
Uh,
tested daily because they're always
yeah,
around like a lot of people. Medical people, I think it was like once a week or something.
well, that's what you'll hear from your like sister-in-law, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. Ontario is weird, but I do miss the in-person recordings, because I know when or if we do uh in-person recordings again, by the time the studio's set up, I'll actually have like a larger table, and then
okay.
hopefully um we can do video stuff like video versions of the podcast, like actually seeing us talk rather than just staring at a image on YouTube. Yeah,
Just put our face on it. Just
i
put
don't
like
have I don't have like recent photos of our faces to put on it.
just don't need it. Just use our Discord emojis.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, like it's been fun doing the podcast, like I know we first started because we listened to the Tablo podcast and we're like, let's be like Tablo.
Yo, I stopped at like around episode 30s though. I
Oh,
need to catch up.
I listened to all of them.
I need to catch up. I like at a certain point I just stopped because
I listened to all of them, and then like he already ended the podcast a long
yeah, I
time
know,
ago.
I know, I know. But I think like around the time COVID started, I'm mostly at home now.
Yeah,
So like when I'm driving, I usually listen to it when I'm driving. So I'm driving less now. I
yeah,
never listen to it.
yeah. I only listen to it when I'm at work.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I feel like at work, because time goes by so slow. At least if there's like some kind of conversation there, like
like a podcast.
time goes by a bit faster. But I mean, like
Oh yeah,
nowadays, I haven't really been listening to any podcast because I don't know why. Like I've gone back to like just listening to music.
same.
Yeah, because I don't know. Like I've tried listening to some podcasts about like business related stuff, like leadership stuff, MBA knowledge and stuff. But at the same time, it's like I don't have that attention span. I learned from it, but my attention span just isn't there for me to listen to every single thing.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, at a certain point I just like zone out and like I had to rewind. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, so I'm just
Say
kind of like,
again?
it's whatever. I mean, I tried to listen to. Did you know Spotify has like ebooks?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So I was just like listening to people read novels, and then I realized I never even paid attention for like 95% of it. And I'm like, I'm not even gonna rewind this anymore. I already missed so much of this. I'm not doing this again.
No.
Yeah, but no, like for the podcast, I think having the guests were always like pretty fun because it was like connecting with like a lot of different people. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Even though a lot of them were actually more of like our close friends, but we also had like some people like Cora who came on, Winnie. You know, it was nice communicating with like or interacting with a lot of people from the Asian community here.
Definitely.
Um, Hopefully in the future we can connect with more because I know I've seen because I'm in like Asian Creative Network Toronto, so like I've seen a lot of like Toronto creatives, um, but at the same time, so shy and awkward that I don't know how to ask them to be on the podcast or something.
Hmm.
Yeah, so that's like another thing. It's like I kind of want to make myself not overwhelmed, and then hopefully create a better um program for every episode, like like quote unquote like itinerary, like schedule, like how would we go at like every episode kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just I don't have the time to do that right now, and I feel like in order for me to do that, it would mean that like we'd have to listen to a lot more different podcasts to see how they do their format.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for now, like the podcast is kind of going to be placed in the back burner for a bit.
And I feel like we still have people who wants to guest on our podcast too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which
We'll get to
in the
them eventually.
future, we'll get to it. Some of them are not close friends, some of them are strangers. There's quite a bit of people, but for now it's those things where like it's time for us to kind of um take care of ourselves and the stuff that we need to do first before we jump back into this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so again, this is not a finalized ending.
It's just hiatus. We'll go on break.
Yeah, this isn't Endgame. This is like
This is Infinity War.
yes.
Yeah. 5-year hiatus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Possibly.
We're
Yeah.
going from like Thor, like ripped Thor to like Bro Thor.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So the YouTube videos will continue for a bit until I clear out everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just way too much stuff that I need to
Yeah.
clear out. But once all that stuff is cleared out, I think the Sadboii channels will be quiet for a little bit. I will try my best to once in a while post something, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe I'll start posting like Genshin Impact stuff, even though I don't really play that often.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll try to keep the content coming, just won't be as consistent for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think I did tell Cora though, like if she ever wanted to talk about a specific topic again, I said we'd be down to do an episode for her.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because I told her like when it comes to like dating stuff, like I feel like it's such a wide topic, a broad topic.
Mm-hmm.
So because Cora has also been quite an amazing guest, I was like, it's fine. If she wants to come on again, like we'll do like some episodes here and there, kind of thing.
That's fair. That's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It gets listeners activate also, so we get.
Oh, for sure. And also, like we help people, right? We help people,
Yeah.
With dating advice and all that stuff.
We try our best.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah.
If it doesn't work, then it's not our fault.
Yeah. Not one solution fits all, guys.
Yeah.
works for us doesn't mean it works for you. It's up to you
Yeah,
to
very
find your own
situational.
path. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, what were you saying?
Oh, because I just remembered Black Widow.
Oh yeah, Black Widow's out.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't even know.
watched it.
How was it? What were you
It's
rated out of?
okay. The spoiler-free review that from me for this movie is, um, it's a good tribute to Black Widow.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay.
I also think the reason is because the whole release order from the Disney Plus shows to the movies, like everything's been so messed up because of COVID,
Mhm.
that I think it does affect kind of people's reaction to it. It's just it's a good movie, but I wouldn't say it's like a great movie. I will say it's a bit on the weaker side, but I think it does its job as a tribute to Black Widow, a
Okay.
tribute to Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow.
Okay. Well, I didn't really have much expectations about it,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll
Like the
watch it
writing
regardless, I guess.
isn't that bad, and you know how like lately, like any movie or TV show that has like a female lead or whatever, a lot of people like to make it like woke
Mhm.
or social justice and throw like feminism everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Black Widow doesn't do any of that. That's something that I actually appreciate.
Okay.
Not that I
Alright.
don't support feminism. It's just like they're not throwing it in your face.
Yeah.
Like it just feels very natural, right?
Yeah.
Like rather than them saying, "Oh, I'm a girl and I can do it," it's more of just Black Widow just kicking ass. And I think that action speaks louder than words already.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, and like the story writing is not bad. Was David Harbour the guy that plays Red Guardian?
I don't know. Maybe.
Basically like Natasha's dad.
Okay.
I will say I don't know if this. I don't think this is a really spoiler thing, but I will say that he's like the comic relief of the movie.
All right. That ain't bad.
Yeah, he's the comic relief of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, but
All
no,
right, I'll watch it tonight.
it was good. I think the reason why it wasn't as good, I think, is because it's taking place in between Civil War and Infinity War. They had
So
to
we
make
know what
sure.
happened.
No, it's not that. It's more of like they had to make sure the narrative follows this path to lead into the events of Infinity War.
Okay.
So it's kind of like they're forced into this tight tunnel where like, oh, these things have to happen to explain why Natasha is like this Infinity War, rather than them having like a creative freedom to do whatever.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah, I think that's one of the flaws of the movie where they have to cater to who Natasha is in Infinity War.
Okay. Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also there is one post-credit scene.
One. Just one. Okay.
I think it was just one. Yeah, at the very end. It wasn't a post-credit. It was like it was like at the end.
Okay.
End. What else about that movie? Oh yeah, like Disney Plus Premier Access, $35, right? And then I always thought that you could do group watch. Like as long as one person had it, the other people don't need to have it. No, it's apparently like you can only group watch a Premier Access movie as long as everyone has paid for the Premier Access.
That's dumb.
Yeah, and the thing with Premier Access, apparently it's a one-time thing. It's not like you pay and you can watch it forever.
So you can only watch it once.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
This is not worth it.
That's not worth it.
It really is not worth it at all.
That's more than a theater ticket. I'd rather just watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
All right.
Yep.
I'll just find it somewhere.
Yes, legally.
Yes. Legally, yeah.
Yes.
Legally.
Yes. But anyways, that was a little Marvel stuff. I mean, hey, maybe we'll do an episode when Shang-Chi, Eternal, Spider-Man 3 comes out. We never know.
All right. Oh, update. Italy just won the Euro Cup. So
my bosses will be happy.
The Italians in Toronto, it's going to be a wild night. It's going to be a wild night.
Yeah, I'm not going to go out today because one time I went to a dealership here in Vaughan for my car, and the dude literally told me that I have moved into Little Italy of Ontario.
Really? Little Italy's like on college and like Dufferin. But
No,
alright.
he says Little Italy is because Vaughan is literally filled with Italians.
Little
Vaughan,
Italy of the North.
Kleinberg.
Okay. Alright,
Yeah,
I guess.
Vaughan, Kleinberg, Woodbridge, like, you know, the
Little
Italians
Italy,
have
that's not
gathered here.
downtown. Alright. Yeah. So stay safe. It's gonna be really loud tonight. Well, for you, not me.
Yeah, it'll be loud for me.
Yeah.
Probably. We'll see. Because I don't think I'm going out today.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, this is the quote unquote last episode of the Sadboii Podcast.
Episode 66. We're just missing one more 6.
Yep.
So sad. Alright.
We thank you to all our listeners who are listening with us all this time, for supporting the podcast. And yeah, that's that. The journey has come to an end for now.
Well, that just sounds like the Tony Stark.
Part of the journey is the end.
Yeah, part of the journey. They just tried to say that, but like,
no, I always remember that quote. You know, it's true.
Yeah.
The journey is the end.
Yeah.
And for us, this is the temporary end. You know, who knows? Maybe Thanos will snap his fingers and we'll be back one day.
Yeah. Stay safe.
Okay. Yeah.
Be kind.
Yeah.
See you
Stay
next
safe,
time.
and everyone enjoy the nice weather in Ontario. Run away from the gypsy moths. Enjoy
Wait, did you
the
just say
patio.
gypsy mobs?
Moths.
Oh, okay. It's like mobs of
gypsy
gypsies.
moths.
All right.
Insects. Yeah, because there's an infestation in Toronto.
Yeah.
But yeah, just enjoy the nice weather. Enjoy the patio.
Yeah.
Hopefully, all of us will be able to see all our friends, have parties like before
Stay hydrated.
COVID. Stay hydrated and
Stay cool. If you're in Australia, stay warm.
yes, and we will see all of you guys eventually one day in the near future, maybe.
We'll be back.
Yeah,
This
we'll
is
be
not the end.
Yeah. So goodbye, everyone.
Good night.
Lucas is ready to sleep.
I'm tired. It's been a long weekend.
It has. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
All right. Good night.
Sadboii Podcast signing off.
Sign off. Good night. Thanks for listening to the Sadboii Podcast.
Please remember to subscribe to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and have a nice day, I guess.
Yeah, stay sad or happy.
Yeah.
Sad?
Happy.
Sad?
Sad
Happy?
boy.
Sadboii Podcast.
Sadboii Podcast. Good night.